Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I am out here working in the garden today. I've got quite a bit of catch up to do out here. You know that we're reaching that time of the garden season, at least here in Arkansas, where you can't go too long without working in the garden or you're going to have a whole lot of stuff getting out of control. And I haven't been here. I haven't been in Arkansas for several days, most of a week, and I figured I would share why. You know, I normally do coffee and scriptures every Saturday morning, and I did not do that this past week, and I said I would share the reason in an upcoming video. And well, here's the video. Woo! Got a big old truck. No, leave that alone, baby. Where are you gonna go? Where are you going? No, where are you gonna take all your stuff to? Where?
Texas.
We're going to Texas. Oh boy. Careful, silly. Ooh, those clothes are gonna be dirty.
Wow, what's this?
That's a ramp. It helps you get in and out.
In and out?
In and out.
In and
Yeah. We gotta carry all the stuff up here.
out? I carry stuff.
You can carry stuff?
Strong.
You are so strong. Working hard?
I'm playing. This is wrong.
It is drums, huh? Oh no! Hey Willow, where are we going? Texas! What are you doing? Are you having fun on the road trip? Yeah, baby. Yeah, I'm getting you too. Where are we going, baby? Texas! Just stopping to get a little break. Oh, look! You want to say hi to Bucky? Oh, say thank you. You want to go give him a high five? Give him a high five? Good job. Good job, Willow. All right, you ready? Can you say thank you? Good girl. All right, let's go see what we can find. So I shared that my son and daughter-in-law were moving to Texas with the grandbabies. And we found out Tuesday evening that the walkthrough was going to be on Friday. And so we had basically 2 days to get the U-Haul, load the U-Haul, and drive Willow, her baby brother, and all that to Texas. And so needless to say, it has been a bit of a very chaotic situation around here, working like mad to get everything loaded. You know, I drove the U-Haul down to Texas and had Willow riding along with me. Had my daughter-in-law, had the baby. Normally, this drive would have been about 7.5 hours, but because of the little ones, y'all, it was an 11-hour drive. I didn't think we were ever going to get there. It made for a very, very long day. So our house has a master suite upstairs that has a little kitchenette in it. You know, it has its own bathroom and all that stuff, but it's got its own little kitchenette. And that is where my son and daughter-in-law and grandbabies have been living. And so it kind of works out to be like a studio apartment if you set it up that way, which is what they had done. And so for the first time, Willow has her own bedroom, which I took my time helping her set up. There are still a few things of hers here, some outdoor toys that did not get, that didn't fit into the U-Haul, because they also had a storage unit with the rest of their belongings, you know, that wouldn't fit into the space that they were staying when they moved here. And so in about 2 weeks, I will be doing another quick trip to Texas, just north of Austin, and taking the rest of the things down there. And frankly, checking in on Willow and helping my heart handle it. You know, a lot of people struggle with the whole empty nest thing. Like when their kids move out, you know, it's emotionally, it's just really, really hard, and they really struggle with it and all that. It didn't bother me when my kids moved out. You know, I just saw them as moving on with their life. You know, they were equipped to do what they needed to do. And so it really didn't bother me that much. Did I miss them? Of course, absolutely. What mom wouldn't miss their kids when they move out? But it didn't hurt my heart for them to move out. But this, moving the grandbabies to Texas, that hurts my heart for a multitude of reasons. Those of you who pray, please pray for our family. Willow especially, she has a really tough time with changes in routine. And you cannot get any more drastic of a change than moving from the only home you ever remember, and also losing 2 of the 4 parental figures in your life. You know, this isn't like the grandkids are just moving away when they lived down the road. She lived in our house. We were a constant presence in her life, and now we're not there. And this is really, really tough. Really, really tough. So, prayers appreciated. So I figured coming out into the garden was a great way to start the day. The first day where there's just silence upstairs, and play a little catch up in the garden. You know, we had a whole bunch of rain last week, and you know, all of the plants have just been going crazy. So I've got a lot of pruning to do. I've got a lot of plants that need to be trellised, And as it seems, I apparently, you know, I talked in one of my last videos about these little plastic garden clips that I use and how handy they are. And I had several of them that I had left out here on the trellises, and I've just been reusing them so far. But now I need more of them, and it turns out I packed like the remaining, I don't know, 350 of them in the bag. And there's no telling what box they are in. So I'm going back to the good old trusty hemp twine, because completely biodegradable and all that. So if any of it gets left or dropped into the garden bed, it won't hurt a thing. It's not, you know, made of plastic or anything like that. So that is what I'm doing today. You know, I'm just taking all of the prunings that I'm taking off of the plants, just dropping them down onto the soil. I'm not, I'm putting them in spots where they're not touching the stems of other plants. That way, you know, as they break down, they don't harm the plants around them. So, you know, just letting all of those nutrients go back into the soil. Kajari melon is reached high enough that I can start working you up the trellis now. Let's get this bean plant going up the trellis. This is that random one that came up in the walkway alongside the garden bed. So as I'm looking at my tomato plants, I'm kind of starting at the bottom and then just going up the stems, following the path and looking for any of those little suckers coming up and just trying to snip them as I go, trying not to miss any so I don't end up with a serious out of the control mess any more than it always ends up. Because there always comes a point where the garden is just truly out of control. Like there's no stopping it, and you just have to let it go wild. And but the longer you can hold that off, the less chaotic it's going to be. The last time we were out here, I was pinching off all of those first blossoms of the tomato plants. And so now at this point, I'm just going to let them do their thing. You know, I pinched off the first ones just to encourage the plant to create more blossoms, therefore more tomatoes and fruit. But now that they got that initial shock, I'm just going to let them produce. Now these little ones over here, I don't know that these ones even had any blossoms yet. You can hear that bird. That might be the mama bird from the nest over there that I showed y'all. She's none too happy that I'm over here, but I'm avoiding that bed over there as much as possible so as to not disrupt. Got lots of weeds, y'all. Oh my goodness, so many weeds. You know, you get the rain and all the weed plants, all those weed seeds wake up. Anytime I'm gardening, anytime I see a plant that I don't know exactly what it is, I have an app that I use that identifies them, although nowadays you can use stuff like ChatGPT and all that. But there is a plant identification app that I really, really like. And I've shared about it in the past. I think I have a video all about it. But yeah, I'll always identify plants that are new to me to see, is this a useful plant? Can it be used for medicine? What is this? Or is it invasive? Do I need to make sure I eradicate every sign of it? You know, things like that. It's always good to know what you got growing, because not everything's a weed. Now the grasses, I'm just taking those and I'm just dropping them into my walkway. They'll dry up because I'm trying to get them root and all. They'll dry up and I'll just sweep off the walkway and all will be good. But like the trimmings that I take off of the tomato plants, those are the things that I'll just drop into the soil and just let them break down. And if they're a little bit of a bigger piece, I'll just cut it into smaller pieces. And again, just let them compost back into the soil. If I had like some heavy mulch down in here, I would actually pick up the mulch a little bit and put it under there. But I actually haven't mulched this year. Just haven't gotten to that. It's been, y'all, this has been quite a season already. But I am just going to continue working out here, trying to get everything under control. And have a little time to soothe the heart.